running of the NASCAR Busch Series Goodies 250 in Bristol, Tennessee. Bristol, where success is measured in the snap of a stopwatch, but at Bristol, in the blink of an eye, or with the pump of the jack, or a brief tap on the brakes, can be the difference between being seen and not seen on Saturday afternoon. Hello everyone, I'm Bill Weber. 0.4 of a second. How fast is it? It's faster than that. It's 1 foot on this racetrack. It's faster than Benny can get to a dessert cart. And it's the difference between Chad Little, the pole sitter, and Derek Cope, who starts 32nd here today. The 33rd fastest car in qualifying, Dennis Setzer, 18 1/1000ths of a second behind Cope. But Setzer and his talented Lipton T team went home, along with a lot of other talented drivers, including former series winners like Johnny Rumley and Tracy Leslie, Stevie Reeves, who sat on the pole here 1 year ago, and young up-and-coming drivers like Mike Dillon. Fans, right now, this is a tough place to play, and that's just qualifying. 2 laps. Today, it's 250 laps in traffic. What's it like to race inside this soup ladle here? Well, let me tell you, it's a little like throwing a basketball down a bowling alley. Eventually, you're going to hit something. The only question is how hard and when. For more on this tough track, here's Kyle Petty.
Just like Bill said, it is tough to qualify here. That's a competition unto itself. We're standing here beside the winners of that competition. These guys are in the race. Tough to race, 0.4 of a second. Let me tell you something. When a gas messes up in front of you, you're in the accident. There is no avoiding of it. The only thing that keeps you out of accidents here is the grace of God steering your car in a direction and making it stick where it needs to go. Something can happen here in front of you, you're on it real quick. You're running 15, 16-second laps. This is one of the hardest, most physically demanding, but more important than physically demanding, it's one of the most mentally demanding racetracks that's run on the Winston Cup circuit or the Busch Grand National circuit. So these guys are going to have their work cut out for them today, starting at the back, trying to get to the front, starting at the front, trying to stay in the front. Up to you guys.
Well, Kyle, last year one guy started near the back a couple of different times. Steve Grissom won both of the Busch races here at the Bristol International Raceway. One time he started 18th, the other time way back in 28th place. So he figured it out. Takes a lot of patience, and Steve Grissom employed a lot of that. He'll start 19th today, and look for him to be one of the drivers that tries to come up towards the front.
And then we talk about how tough this racetrack is. We have 4 rookies: Tony Stewart, Shane Hall, Pete Orr, and Glenn Allen. Rookies starting this race today. And Stewart will start 7th. Shane Hall will start 9th. How tough a day is it going to be for these guys? You fellas down the truck. If I were you, I would just take those cameras and stay real close to Shane Hall and Tony Stewart. There's probably going to be some action there. That's just a tip for me. Jerry?
After 6 events, take a look at the point standings. Only 25 points separate David Green from Bobby Labonte. But you see Bobby and Terry Labonte there highlighted there. It's because neither one of those Winston Cup regulars are in the field today. They're going to miss this race, and next week, the Sun Drop 400 at Hickory Speedway. You take a look at Chad Little. He is 16th in the point standings. He is on the pole today, trying to turn his year around. Take a look at last year compared to this year. Boy, what a difference for Chad Little. 2 wins last year at this time of the year. He won at Daytona and Rockingham, 4 top 10s, and he has led only 1 lap this year as opposed to 388 a year ago. Hello, everyone. I'm Jerry Punch, and welcome to Bristol, Tennessee. You know, we've only had 1 short track of race thus far in 1996. That came at Nashville, Tennessee, and there were 17 caution flags. Folks, a lot of bumping and banging. Last year here, these 2 events they ran, they had a total of 17 caution flags. So it's going to get exciting here on the high banks at Bristol. We'll have a look at the starting lineup when we come back to Bristol, Tennessee with the NASCAR Busch Grand National Series Goodies 250. Back at Bristol International Raceway, getting set for the NASCAR Busch Grand National Series Goody's Headache Powders 250. The engines have come to life and the drivers are cinched up. There's Jeff Green, Hutch Strickland, Hermie Sadler in the DeWalt Peebles car, and Steve Grissom, the double winner here last year, as they get set for 250 laps here at Bristol, Tennessee. Our coverage of the Goody's Headache Powders 250 is being brought to you by TM8 engine treatment from Valvoline, because driving is more stop than go. By the more than 1,250 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. And by Suzuki. Your Suzuki motorcycle and ATV dealer has the ride you've been waiting for and the financing to get it. And as the field rolls off, speaking of Suzuki, let's take a look at our Suzuki starting grid. 37 cars will start. You heard Bill Everett tell you 48 tried to qualify. That means that 11 go home. Chad Little, for the first time this year on the pole, 121.198 miles per hour. His John Deere Pontiac flanked by Michael Waltrip, who finished second at Darlington last week.
Row 2 is Larry Pearson and Jeff Green, pole sitter last week in Darlington.
And in row 3, we find Jimmy Spencer and David Green, the current points leader in the Busch Series.
Back in the 4th row, starting inside Tony Stewart. That's the rookie that Benny was talking about, and Tim Feedham, who finished 3rd here last August.
In row 5, we have Shane Hall, another rookie, and Mark Martin, who has to be a favorite anytime he cinches up.
And in row 6, Jason Keller, who's really needing to get his year turned around, and Hut Strickland.
Back in row 7, 13th and 14th spot, Randy LaJoie and Kenny Wallace. Watch for him to come toward the front in a hurry.
On the inside of row 8 is Joe Bessie and Randy Porter on the outside.
Row number 9, we find Jeff Purvis, who won at Richmond earlier this year, and Hermie Sadler, another driver who's had a lot of tough luck this year.
Back in the 10th row, the driver who won both events in Busch competition last year at Bristol, Steve Grissom, and Phil Parsons, who has had some good runs on the short tracks.
Brad Teague, local driver, and Dick Trickle in row 11.
A lot of good drivers back in the field. There's Mike Wallace in row 12, Dale Jarrett alongside of Mike Wallace.
Back in row 13, Mike McLaughlin, and last year's Rookie of the Year, Jeff Fuller.
In row 14, Patty Moise and Bobby Dodder.
In row 15, we find Kevin LePage and Tommy Houston.
Row 16, rookie driver Pete Orr and Derek Cope, a Winston Cup veteran.
Getting near the end, row 17, Curtis Markham and Todd Bodine, a couple of guys who took provisionals.
And a couple more who took provisionals, Ben Allen Jr. and Rodney Combs.
And of course, back in the field, the 1990 Winston Busch Series champion Chuck Bound takes the champions provisional. He will start 37th on the field. And the war paint's on. Those Sting lookalikes down there in the World Championship Wrestling pits. That is the Steve Grissom pits, as they are set. Take a look at our race analysis here. 250 laps of pole speed for Chad Little, 121.198 miles per hour. Race record 92.929. That's for the whole 250 laps. And the purse $284,413. 1 lap to go, and we'll tell you we're going to be riding along with some very special people in in-car cameras today. The Food City folks. That's Jeff Green's car. Green driving the Goodwrench Chevrolet. He will start 4th in the field. There's a Smoky Mountain Herbal Chew car of Hut Strickland starting in 12th spot. Roof cam for Hut. How about the DeWalt Peebles department store machine? Hermie Sadler. What a great run Hermie had at Darlington last week. He starts 18th. And there's the champ, Steve Grissom, who won this event here a year ago. He starts 19th in the World Championship Wrestling Chevy. Kyle Petty, Bill Weber, Benny Parsons, Ned Jarrett, yours truly, Jerry Punch, bring you exciting high bank action from Bristol, Tennessee. Folks, fasten your seatbelts. Don't fall off the sofa. This one is going to be something to watch.
Pretty significant damage to the right front of his car, and no caution flag. There we see the right front fender where it's broken.
Boy, what a tough break for Brad T, who lives here in the Johnson City area, driving for Charlie Henderson. They had 2 cars here. Doug Hebron, his teammate, did not qualify for the field, and there is no caution flag.
They just stacked up, and I think he got in the back of Steve Grissom, the defending champion of this race.
Take another look at it here. They go down into turn 1, and you can see they really stack up. I think he did hit Steve Grissom in the 29 car there, and round he went.
Meanwhile, back to that's Chad Little in front. Michael Waltrip, Larry Pearson, and Jimmy Spencer. That's Jimmy Spencer in the white number 20, and Jeff Green, the number 3 car.
Jimmy Spencer making only his 2nd start of the year. He finished in Daytona.
What a good shot, huh? Food City, looking at Food City.
Jimmy Spencer, the white car, and you're looking at it from the roof cam of Jeff Green's Food City Goodwrench Chevrolet.
I say watch some pretty good damage to Jeff Purvis's car. Evidently Grissom got in the back of his. Look how it's bent up, Ned.
Yeah, that was just a chain reaction deal when he went and turned smoke coming from that car. So apparently he's got some sheet metal. That's Jeff Purvis rubbing against a tire. Steve Grissom right there, wanting to get around him.
How appropriate that bumper is. Out with a bang. David Lee Murphy, boy, he was almost out with a bang on the first lap when he get that hit from behind. Here's a challenge in turn 3.
Spencer in 20.
Well, once you get down on that inside, Larry Pearson got caught up on the outside, and he's going to lose several positions. There he gets back in very quickly.
He almost got him in.
Yeah. David Green was there.
And here's the rookie Tony Stewart making his first trip ever to Bristol, Tennessee. Nice move by Stewart on the bottom. Here's Martin. Boy, Pearson was going to try to get back in line and may be able to get down in front of Martin. He does.
Tony Stewart running that car number 15, the white car. No sponsor on that car. They're looking for sponsorship for that. Harry Vernier owns the car, and wow.
Grissom once again got in the back of the 4 car, and Purvis out of control finally got it back.
Now here's what happened on the start to the 4 car. Watch left side of your screen.
Tell you what, the 1 car looks like he got hit from the back and side.
Jeff Purvis driving with those broken ribs. Very, very uncomfortable. Had to get a relief driver at Darlington, and Sterling Marlin in the car is going to try to make it 250 laps, but he's very uncomfortable in the car with those ribs broken on the right side.
Here's Mark Martin making a move, going around Larry Pearson. Pearson, ooh, he tried to get back in line, and Tim Fedor was right there.
Well, I tell you now, here comes the train. Well, Shane Hall's on the inside. That's Shane in the white number 85. But he cuts Larry Pearson a break and lets him get back in line. That's Kenny Wallace in the number 8, the black and white Red Dog car.
That's 10th, 11th, and 12th you're looking at right there. Larry Pearson, the 92 car. Stanley Tools trying to hold on the 10th
spot. And the 5 car, Brad Teague, is up into the wall, and traffic coming up on him. Wow, look at him. Dodge, weave, get around him. Everybody so far has gotten around him. That was a big bunch of traffic that he came down across the track in front of. I don't think he could help it.
There's a challenge up front as Michael Waltrip now has reeled in Chad Little.
But I tell you what, there is traffic in front of these leaders. There we see Derek Cope in the back car right in front of the leaders. It's going to be something to behold now. Jeff Green, the Goodrich Chevrolet, has closed up on the leaders.
Yeah, he just passed Jimmy Spencer a few laps ago and has driven away from Spencer. And you're right, Benny, he is gaining on the leaders at a pretty good clip.
See that Food City roof cam showing you that those 2 cars right there that Green is chasing. There is Jeff Green that Benny's talking about. Goodrich Food City Chevy, owned by Teresa Earnhardt, and there are the 2 guys he's chasing up there. The MW Windows Ford Thunderbird of Michael Waltrip in 2nd place, but Chad Little is our leader here in the early laps. Back in a moment. Back at Bristol, Tennessee, under caution for the first time today, lap 20. You see the Slim Jim Chevy just coming off pit road. Heavy damage to the left rear of Jason Keller's car. Here's what happened to him just a moment ago.
Going in turn 1 was Jason Keller, and all of a sudden the car goes around. He goes up and backs in the wall. Pretty doggone hard, Dad.
Yeah, it has a lot of damage to the rear of that Slim Jim Chevrolet. Comes down in front of some other cars, but they were able to avoid him, get on the round, nobody else involved.
After qualifying 11, Jason trying to get his season sort of turned around. Had a pretty good run this year. Finished 7th at Richmond. Now the 5 car's also been struggling. How about it, Kyle Petty?
The 5 car spun early in the race, tore the right front fender off. They came in, changed left side tires, sent him right back out, but the fender was flapping. They black flagged him, brought him back in. Then, as you saw, he almost caused another big accident down there when the car jumped out from under him. They brought it in this time, reset the toe in. The toe was knocked out. At least he'll be able to drive it. It doesn't look too good, but at least he'll be able to drive it now, guys.
That's Brad Teague in the Food Country Chevrolet. Charlie Henderson owned car. Brad has finished 3rd here before in his Busch Series career, trying to get a good finish today. Back with more from Bristol in just a moment. Back at Bristol, Tennessee, the Goody's Headache Powder's 250. 1 to go has been given. This is why we're under caution. Take a look at what happened a moment ago to Jason Keller. And listen. Steve Grissom's spotter. He got it from his roof cam on the WCW Chevrolet. There's a look at Steve. We might mention Jeff Purvis, who had the broken ribs, has climbed out of his car number 4.
Okay, Steve, we're going this time, so get ready. The copter landed down there in turn 3 and 4, but don't worry about it. Car's in. Green, green, green.
Green flag waves. We might mention Sterling Marlin is in the 4 car for Jeff Purvis, who has climbed out with his alien ribs. And Chad Little will lead off on turn 2.
Well, this caution was a break for a lot of drivers, Jared. There were a lot of them that were about to go a lap down. We'd mentioned that they were coming up on heavy traffic. Curtis Markham, Derek Cope, and a number of drivers were about to go a lap down. Now, that helicopter that spotter mentioned landing between turns 3 and 4, it's down on the infield, folks. It's not going to land out on the racetrack. It's actually landing right now.
Derek Cope was lapped before the caution flag came out.
And we mentioned Jeff Purvis has climbed out, and Kyle Petty has caught up with him. Kyle.
Jeff, you guys started out the year great, but you're getting good at changing drivers. You guys did it a lot faster this time than you did last week. How are you feeling?
Well, we knew before the race started we'd have to change drivers. We had Sterling ready and I'm ready to get out. We just need to get an early caution.
They got an early caution. He had already been run into a couple of times. You don't want those rims hit any more than they have to be.
And Larry Pearson, there's the car number 92. They had a great qualifying run, continuing to go back, to be shuffled back in the field. There's the Marlin car driving for Jeff Purvis, Slim Jim car going by. And the car, we report to these.
Oh, now a little bit of bump on the 4 car from Jason Keller, and no caution flag as Sterling Marlin goes in the spin cycle.
Like 4 car must feel like a cue ball.
And he's going to lap down right now as the leaders go by. Michael Waltrip has really been working on Chad Little up there. He wants to lead, but now the 4 car of Jeff Purvis is a lap down.
And here's a replay of what happened a moment ago.
Well, they went around Larry Pearson, and Jason Keller just ran up on the 4 car, tapped him in the rear, and spun him halfway around.
There's the 12 car of Michael Waltrip, and he's really working over Chad Little.
Yes, he is. That's Jim Reed in the black number 3, Jimmy Spencer in the white 20.
70.
Let's check into the pits with Bill Weber. How about the Larry Pearson car, Bill?
Well, Jerry, they had thought they were going to be too tight today. That's been a problem they had since they got here on Friday. Tight, tight, tight. But now it just went down. Ryan Pemberton told me loose. So they just lost a lap, and he's losing the handle. They tried to make it so it wouldn't be too tight, maybe a little bit too loose. Larry Pearson started 3rd, down a lap, going backwards in a hurry.
Boy, he just got put a lap down after a good qualifying effort. The car when the car is too tight here, that's going to frighten you where you can't get the car to turn in the corners.
No, I tell you what, Larry Pearson's having all kinds of problems. Meanwhile, Chad Little, Michael Waltrip, Jeff Green, Jimmy Spencer, they're not having a lot of problems getting around this racetrack.
Well, those cars are set up good, and they are running them hard. Chad Little having to run really hard to keep Michael Waltrip back there because Michael's been working on it.
Turn 4 as they exit, come down the front stretch, under the start-finish line, completing another lap. And it doesn't take long to complete a lap here at the Bristol Raceway as Larry Pearson comes in the pits, 4 tires and adjustment. They were killing some wedge in the back, so evidently his car is pushing.
Boy, this is a costly pit stop here. As you say, it only takes about 16 seconds to go around this racetrack, and have to make a green flag pit stop unscheduled this early in the race is tough. Ooh, Mike Wallace got past there, but Kevin LePage. Mike's car's not handling too well either, I don't believe.
There's Todd Bodine in the 81 car going by as they go by the Bobby Dotter machine, car number 55.
Patty Moise, Jeff Fuller in 47. There's Bobby Dotter in 55. Rocky and Rodney in the Lance car.
And here are the leaders coming out of turn 4. Chad Little trying to pick up where he left off a year ago. His best finishes this year, 2:15s coming in Atlanta and Nashville. Doesn't have a top 10. That could change today with a great qualifying effort on the pole for the John Deere Pontiac team, Gary Cogswell and company.
Chad Little is in trouble because he's letting the car drift up just a little bit in the middle of the corner. And I'm afraid Michael Waltrip is going to have his number just a second. There's Shane Hall in the white number 80. And around goes Shane. Up in the...
You're all clear. You're all clear. Come on, call it down.
And I can't believe Joe Bessie, poor old Joe Bessie, everywhere he goes, there's somebody parked in front of him.
Oh, man.
I'm talking about the 9 car. And does that look like Darlington all over again, or what?
Oh, my gosh. I was at Joe Bessie's shop this week. That's the only race car they had left, and they had fixed it from Darlington. They had to fix the whole front end and the right side, and they worked around the clock, the Delco Remy America crew there for Joe Bessie, to get that car that was wrecked at Darlington fixed, because he has no others. And, folks, you look at Shane Hall's car, the back of his car, he got a little tap there in the corner. And
I got to qualify that a little bit more than a tap. That's
he got a lick.
A lick. There you go.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's look at it again, Ned.
Okay, they're right in the center of the turn, and here comes Kenny Wallace. And
I don't know.
does hit him straight in the back. It was a pretty good little nudge. But right at that point of the racetrack, you're almost out of control. It doesn't take a whole lot, but he got enough to send him around. And here comes Joe Bessie, wham, right into the right side of it.
Poor old Joe. My, look at Shane and Kenny Wallace again.
And around goes Shane. He nails the brakes, but
ouch. Now watch. Here comes Bessie trying to go high-low, and here's Shane right in the middle of the racetrack. You see the smoke off Bessie's brakes, had it locked down, and just couldn't know where to go.
And what's Bessie going to do? Once again, we'll watch it from our camera as Shane Hall, the white number 85, goes up into the fence. Grissom goes by. There's Randy LaJoy. Goes Randy Porter by. Now watch. There's cars on the inside. There's a car. There's another car. And Bessie, there's cars going to go on the outside. So there was no place for him to go. There's cars. They were 3 abreast, and Bessie had no place to go.
And now let's listen. And there's what's left of Shane Hall's Chevy Monte Carlo, rookie driver. And there's Joe Bessie hanging his head down. My goodness, he didn't have any bad luck. He wouldn't have any luck at all. That huge lick in Atlanta. Here's the Luxair Monte Carlo, Glenn Allen Jr.
Some pretty good damage to the front of that car as well.
He's the leading rookie contender this year on the NASCAR Busch Tour. Kyle Petty has caught up with Joe Bessie. Kyle?
I'm standing here with Joe. I was watching it when it happened. You had no place to go. There were cars to the inside. You didn't want to pull back up in the outside lane and get run over from behind. You've just had an awful year. There's no way to explain it.
Yeah, there isn't. I just can't believe that just happened. We're gonna get this monkey off her back. I don't know what we're gonna do at Hickory for a car next week, but all the good people at Delco Remy America are gonna stick behind us, and guys on this team are gonna keep digging, and we're gonna get through this.
Well, like he says, that's important, guys. As long as they keep working hard and keep working at it, they'll be back. He's a little disgusted, but he'll be back.
After the way that crew worked all week long, I got to believe somehow, some way they'll manage to get that car repaired and get it to Hickory Speedway next Saturday for the Sundrop 400. Well, Michael Waltrip is leading the first time he has led Busch competition this year. We'll be back. NASCAR Busch Grand National Series action from Bristol International Raceway in Bristol, Tennessee. The Goody's Headache Powders 250. Now, this is why we were under caution. Wild one out of turn 2 here just a moment ago.
Shane Hall in 85 gets bumped from behind by Kenny Wallace. Goes up, smacks the wall, and poor old Joe Bessie comes along the 9-yard right in the side.
Now, while that was going on, here's what happened to our leader, Chad Little. He's the green car, left side of your picture. Michael Waltrip running second, and Jeff Green third.
They'll come up on some lap traffic. Pete Orr out there in 88. Chad Little runs up behind him. Michael Waltrip drives by on the inside. So does Jeff Green and Jimmy Spencer and David Green. Chad Little goes all the way back to 5th before they get back to the start-finish line.
Wow.
And one of the rookies who was involved in an incident is standing by with Bill Weber.
And Shane Hall's Chevy's pretty smushed. You're out for the day, it looks like. What happened back there?
Got a little bit of help from behind. I hate it when these guys put a real good race car under us. We're just trying to get a good run, see if we can put some sponsorship together with this thing. And today just wasn't our day.
Green, next time by. Tough place to run as a rookie.
I'm sorry.
It's tough to run here as a rookie.
It sure is. You know, we ran here a couple of times before in the All-Pro Series. This is a tough racetrack, and being a rookie, I guess, doesn't help things.
Well, Bristol got Shane Hall here early. He's out.
Hey, Bill Weber, what does smushed mean? Is that a little crash, a big crash? What's smushed?
We'd show you, Benny, but the car kind of limped off down behind pits. But smushed it's not good. It's not one of those things you can get fixed and get back out there, I don't think. Especially if you're a rookie at Bristol. Here comes a green flag. Do your job up there, would you, big guy?
Okay.
Okay. Michael Waltrip will lead him off. Remember, that's the first time he's led this year. BMW Windows Ford Thunderbird. Mikey leads him down. Jeff Green, Food City Goodrich Chevy. Reese Earnhardt car running in second. They go by the lap car of Larry Pearson.
Oh, corner.
Ooh, somebody back off.
David Green, Derek Cope in the 26, and Larry Pearson for an instant were 3 abreast.
There's Tim Fee to win the car, number 40. He is being shown in the 8th spot. Battle here for 2nd spot. Spencer will take it away.
And once again, the Food City car. Jeff Green's Food City car. Goodrich Shirley looking at Jimmy Spencer's
That guy's a wild man.
Food City
He
car.
got no patience, that's for sure.
Now here's a mess.
That's the Peebles DeWalt Chevy of Hermie Sadler. Riding along with Hermie in the car number 1 there. Lots of traffic. Kevin LePage. Look at the back of Hermie Sadler's car. What a great run Hermie had last week at Darlington. Came all the way to 3rd. They had the caution come out, and the fan broke on the car. Took a part of the radiator off, lost all the water, and just cooked the motor. But he's trying to pick up where he left off. Watch this move. Here's our pole sitter almost being passed by the Winn-Dixie machine of Mark Martin.
Right now, Chad Little's in 5th, and Mark Martin is in 6th.
And look up front here. Those 2 white cars are going at it. Jimmy Spencer dogging Michael Waltrip. He has caught him and putting the pressure on him. Michael Waltrip running his own cars for the first time. Jimmy Spencer driving his own car as well.
Michael Waltrip being helped by Ronnie Silver. I asked Michael, why did you do this? Because Ronnie said we could do it. That's why he did it. If Ronnie Silver doesn't do it, I don't believe Michael would be in the part. And here we go. Mark Martin alongside Chad Little.
That's for 5th position, and Martin will take the spot away. Let's see if Little get back. No, can't quite get that Pontiac underneath him. You see Michael Waltrip and Spencer 1-2.
Man, I tell you what, Spencer is right there, you did.
Yeah, he's fast. He'll get him this time. Oh, yeah, Michael just backed off and said, I don't want him back there dogging me.
Oh!
Off the back. Gave him a little love tap there, didn't he?
Short track action. We told you, folks, to buckle your seatbelts. You might not want to roll off the slope for the day. This is going to be exciting. 2 caution flags already in a little over 50 laps. Second start of the year for Jimmy Spencer.
Pace back now.
As Dale Earnhardt talking to his driver, Jeff Green.
So get your pace back after he backed off and watched that little action up in front of him there.
Jeff Green, the pole sitter last week at Darlington, in the car number 3. There's the battle, 28, 8, 29. It's 9th, 10th, and 11th. Hut Strickland, Kenny Wallace, Steve Grissom.
What did you say Grissom started 19th, Ned?
Yep.
Worked his way up to 11th, so.
He's gradually moving them up there.
And Kenny Wallace is on the inside of Hutz, and here goes Grissom. He'll get by.
That's Grissom's spotter telling him that he had cleared Hut Strickland. There's a Smoky Mountain Herbal Chew machine of Hut Strickland.
Boy, Hut's losing a lot of positions here now as that train comes by down on the inside. He just hasn't been able to get back down there.
Phil Parsons goes by as well.
Dogging that Red Dog machine. That's old Grissom. Remember, as Ned told you, he started 28th in one race last year at Bristol, the 18th in the other, and ended up winning them both. These cars running 9th and 10th.
And right in front of this group is our pole sitter, Chad Little. And Ned, he has fallen back. He is struggling now to get around the racetrack.
Yeah, he's running in 6th place, but he's losing a lot of ground to the front 5 cars, and that other pack of cars has caught up to him. So Chad Little's car apparently handled going away a little bit.
Bill Weber, how about Chad Little's problem? What is it?
Well, right now he's tight in the middle of the turns. You know, they were pretty good since the time they rolled off the truck here on Friday, but they had a half-hour practice session this morning because of the weather yesterday. I talked to Chad just before the race. He wasn't happy with how the car ran this morning. They made a few changes. Right now he's telling the crew the car is tight in the middle of the turns. When they pit, they're going to loosen it up a little bit for him.
There's the Tony Stewart car that Benny talked about at the top of the show, the Pontiac for the rookie driver Tony Stewart. Boy, he's been impressive this year in the few starts he's had.
And he tried to get alongside Chad Little, but could not quite make it as he came off the corner. And Grissom had an inkling to drive on the inside of
Up front there is Spencer, the 20 car. He is the leader. Chevrolet Monte Carlo going around the Pete machine. Behind him, the 12 car of Michael Waltrip in second spot. Jeff Green is third, and there's the interval. You see, watching the interval left side of your screen. That is Mark Martin as he's closing in now on the leader, Jimmy Spencer.
Mark just a real patient, easygoing out there, knowing that this is a tough racetrack and survival is the key. He's trying to keep himself out of trouble and easing right on up there.
And Mark had, you see, just passing that traffic. It's now 1.6 seconds as they go by Patty Moise.
Yeah, Benny, this is sort of like Darlington. We talked last week about if you just have to back off, you catch a car in the wrong place on the racetrack when you're lapping them, you have to back off just for a moment. It can cost you a half a second or even sometimes as much as a second. They're running so fast here that you have to let off just a little bit. It really costs you.
You heard Dale Earnhardt tell his young driver, Jeff Green, get your rhythm, so he's trying to hang on to that third spot. There's Jimmy Spencer. And there's the battle for third, 3 and 60. Jeff Green and Mark Martin.
Behind Mark, come on. Hey, follow Mark there. See if you find you just go through there. You can go around there better.
Here Earnhardt telling his driver, follow Mark and get you a good groove there. Follow Mark.
Good man to follow on this racetrack.
Or any racetrack for that matter.
1560.
After 73 of 250 laps, Jimmy Spencer being shown as our leader here in the Goodings Headache Powders 250. Back to Bristol after this. Stay with us. Back at Bristol, Tennessee, Bristol International Raceway. Jimmy Spencer, our leader. Take a look at second and third. There is Mark Martin is coming in a hurry. He is caught down reeled in the NW windows. Ford Thunderbird of Michael Waltrip.
Mark Martin, uncharacteristic, qualified in 10th spot here. Derek Cope is in the pits. This must be an unscheduled stop, Kyle Petty.
It's an unscheduled stop, but they just changed tires. They changed right side. They come around and changed left side. They didn't make any chassis adjustments. He got lapped in 16 laps. He got lapped very early in the race. So Derek was the last qualifier that got in on time, and he's not running like he usually does in the Busch Series.
Boy, not at all, Cal. You're exactly right. He is 6 laps down, now 7 laps down for that pit stop, being shown back in 33rd position. Left side of your screen, car number 20, Jimmy Spencer. Jimmy likes this racetrack. In fact, in the early part of his Winston Cup career, he had some very impressive runs here. Back driving for Travis Carter in the early years, back when he was... There's the pass for second spot. Mark Martin also likes this track. Passes the 1993 winner of the Goodies Headache 250, Michael Waltrip.
In fact, they've driven away from Jeff Green in the 3 car just a little bit, so I guess he's not quite finding that groove that Earnhardt is encouraging him to find.
Our field summary you see in the parentheses there.
Jeff, just be smooth.
There, Dale said you're looking real good. Just be smooth.
Good lap.
And they're clocking the laps. Now what the groove you ran that time was where you need to run, because what they mean by good lap, that's as fast as the leader is running. Fiedel gets a car under him. It looks like Kenny Wallace under him and loses 3 positions, in jeopardy of losing 4. And he and Phil Parsons make contact in the corner, and Phil gets by. Now there's contact between him and the 28 car.
Nice job by Fiedel to hang on, and Hut Strickland. There's Randy Porter's Universe car. There's Hut Strickland smoking out an herbal chew machine. Great job by Hut to hang on, as did Tim Fiedel hanging on those cars out of turn 2.
There's about 8 cars in a row there that are getting in jeopardy of going a lap down. The leader is on the same straightaway with them, and they've been just running along in a line there.
By the way, Randy Porter, the driver of that Universe car, told me that he's been... Here, let's watch as Phil Parsons goes down the corner. He's on the apron. He and Fiedel will make contact. Now, as they come off the corner, Fiedel's going to try to get back in the groove, and he and Hut Strickland are going to make contact. And Randy Porter is able to get by Hut Strickland in the 28 car. And the 15 car, Tony Stewart, has been able to get by the pole sitter of Chad Little. And here comes Kenny Wallace on the inside.
That's 7th, 8th, and 9th on your screen as the Red Dog Ford, Kenny Wallace, trying to make a move inside of our pole sitter, Chad Little. That's 7th and 8th spot. You're watching it from the roof cam, the World Championship Wrestling roof cam of Steve Grissom, the car number 29, right side of your screen.
Now, boy, Kenny Wallace has a run on him now, and looks like there's about 4 cars that's going to go by Chad Little unless something happens.
Bill Parsons, Tracy LaJoy, Steve Grissom all went by.
So Little goes from 7th to 11th. In less than half a lap as you watch the WCW car that won here a year ago. Let's see if we can find our leader. That would be Jimmy Spencer in the white and red numeral car number 20. There it is, the Hickory Charcoal Food City sponsored car. There is Jimmy Spencer, one of the drivers starting his own team in 1996, as Dad mentioned before. A number of drivers started their own teams this year.
And Mark Martin going by Rodney Combs. He's on the outside, and that really kills a lap when you get on the outside, man.
You just can't go up there. You have to just drive very gingerly up there. It's slicker up there than it is down in that bottom groove. That's why everybody wants to be in that bottom groove.
There's Kevin LePage, the 71 car, picked up a sponsor, one race sponsorship from Piggly Wiggly, local food store here in the town, in the area, Bristol, Tennessee, Johnson City.
Michael Waltrip going beneath the Piggly Wiggly Chevy. LePage, as you talked about, and here is Spencer in heavy traffic behind Mike Wallace.
Yeah, he's having a tough time getting around Mike Wallace. Mike running in the 21st position, trying to stay in the lead lap. And now Spencer does get by.
We can see, look what happened. Mark Martin is almost on his back bumper, just a lap that he was held up by Mike Wallace. And what happens once the leader gets by a car, then it's really, he will not hold up that second place car as much as the leader, because it doesn't make any difference if he gets by.
Here's Tim Fedewa in the car number 40. He is running in the 12th position, and he has got a line of cars behind him. I think Tim's holding up some of those cars, and they know the leader's coming up on him. They want to get on by, but they can't.
Tim Fedewa, who finished one car nearly out of shape there.
That was Todd Bodine, the 81 car. That's the white car. You've been seeing a blue car for Todd Bodine this year. A new paint job for the 81 car.
And here's a change of position. Tony Stewart loses a spot. Car number 8, Kenny Wallace, will take the 6th spot away.
25.
And now, finally, the 48 car of Randy Porter gets up beside of Tim Fedewa, and I think the train's going to go by if we don't have a wreck here in front of all of those people. He's right in front of the leader. Fedewa losing a lot of positions.
Well, Fedewa's obviously having some troubles. Bill Weber, have any ideas what it may be?
I'm not sure what Tim Fedewa's problem is, but I know that a lot of the guys behind him aren't very happy. A lot of teams down here are looking for some help from NASCAR. They want some of these slow cars to get out of the way. Earlier it was Chad Little. He was holding up the 15 who was not on the lead lap, but the guys behind the 15 wanted by, so NASCAR came down here and talked to the 15 car. He finally got by. That opened the door. Then it was Tim Fedewa. These slow cars are holding up faster cars, and the leaders are coming like a rocket.
Of course, now Tim Fedewa was in the lead lap up until he just got lapped there when he got out of the groove, but he was holding up a lot of cars. Here's Mark Martin. Jimmy Spencer holding him up, and he's going for the lead.
And Mark Martin takes the Winn-Dixie Ford to the front.
And right now, Mark Martin has now led all 6 of the Busch Grand National races he has run in 1996. He did not go to Nashville, Tennessee. Ford at the top. Take a look there, left side of your screen. Martin, Spencer in a Chevrolet. Michael Waltrip in a Ford, and a pair of Chevrolets. The Green brothers, Jeff and David. And Kenny Wallace in 6 and a Ford. He's looking at the top 10. Mark Martin leads for the first time in the NASCAR Busch Grand National Series Goodies Headache Powder 250. Back with more from Thunder Valley after this. Back at Bristol, Tennessee, Mark Martin being shown as a leader. Now, We don't have a caution flag, but there has been some bumping. Take a look at what happened to Michael Waltrip's NW Windows Ford.
Some heavy damage to the car. Bill Weber?
Well, they made a 4-tire change. They were going to send Michael right back out, but NASCAR said, no, you got to fix this right front quarter panel. They're trying to rip it off. That's not going to work. Now they're going to tape it off. Now they're going to rip it off. Michael sits there, laps going by, had a great car going. Now they've got some stiffs. They're going to try and cut it away. So Michael Waltrip had a great run going, got caught up in traffic. He got a hacksaw on now, and he's not very happy. Now a little smoke coming up under the hood. He starts to go and back to the race.
Let's take a look at what happened, what caused all of that. Mark Martin was coming up on the Jeff Fuller car, and they made contact going into turn 1. Fuller spun up the outside of the racetrack. Michael ran into the back of Jimmy Spencer as Spencer tried to slow down. Spencer spins all the way around, but everybody gets going, so as a result, no caution.
And there's some pretty significant damage to both Michael and Spencer's car.
And here's Jeff Green driving through it.
Slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. Okay. Go, yellow. Oh, yellow. Go. Yellow, go. Wait. Go.
You heard Earnhardt yelling, slow down, slow down, slow down, and then no yellow. Go. So that's what it's all about. A little banging action here between the Pontiac and the Chevrolet. That's Chad Little's John Deere car getting a nudge from the Cape Canaveral Cruise machine.
At our 16th spot, and we see right behind them is Mark Martin, the leader in the 60 car, and he goes by Chad Little, puts him a lap down.
Hadn't been that long ago that Chad Little was leading this race, and here he is now, lap down.
And here's Phil Parsons' Channel Lock Chevy trying to make a move, and that would be for the 7th position.
Phil is making a good run up through the pack. He started in the 20th position, and now all the way up to 8th.
The blue and white number 1 car, number 10, left side of your screen, Tony Stewart, the rookie driver. Still impressive, being shown in the 7th spot right now with Parsons in 8th, Randy LaJoie in 9th. There's the Kevin LePage car, number 71, going by. He is 3 laps down in 28th spot. That's the Piggly Wiggly machine.
I would guess that Kevin LePage has been in the pits and changed some tires. The way that he's closing up on these cars.
Mike McLaughlin coming into the pits also. He was running in the about the 14th position, 15th.
Todd Bodine certainly has had his hands full, Benny. I mean, he has been all over the racetrack, right in front of the leaders. There you see Mark Martin coming up the right side of your screen. Bodine trying to stay in the lead lap. He is in 15th spot, the last car on the lead lap. The 5 car behind him actually is laps down. Now goes by, that's Brad Teague, a number of laps down, and now right on this rear deck of Todd Bodine is the leader.
Todd Bodine, sponsored by Cape Canaveral. If you missed last week's show in Dalton, they announced the sponsorship. They put the sponsorship on the car there and announced it this morning here in Bristol at a press conference.
It's a cruise line. That's not where they send up the shuttles.
That's right. It's a cruise line that's based out of Cape Canaveral, and we're going to be seeing the halfway point
right now.
And Mark Martin will pick up the, what is it, $2,000 from Gatorade as the leader at the halfway point.
Gatorade halfway money going to the Winn-Dixie Chevy driver. He nearly gets into the side of Todd Bodine, and now will be able to make the pass.
Very close quarters there. He worked his way through. There's Derek Cope. Derek is many laps down, but he has fresher tires than any of those.
Ah, here comes Todd back by.
Took advantage of that opportunity. Said, just in case there's a caution, I want to be in front of the leader. Good move.
A gutsy move by Todd Bodine in the 81 car. I'm sure it was not a move that Mark Martin enjoyed too well.
There's Tommy Houston down on the inside of the racetrack. He just came out of the pits on the back. Chad Little is in the pits right now in the John Deere Pontiac. Bill Weber is down there. Bill, it's a scheduled pit stop, I guess.
Yeah, Chad just couldn't hang on any longer. They're going to go ahead and put 4 Goodyear tires on here. He seems to have 2 sets to use under caution, so this set will not count against him. He made it to lap 128, but the John Deere Pontiac is not what they were hoping for. Coming off his first career pole here. They've got the right sides on, cleaned the windshield, slapping on some left side tires. Fuel is in. Now they make the chassis adjustment. It's a big one. Look up the Titan pads away.
As the Chad Little car leaves pit road, here's what happened just seconds ago in front of the leader, Mark Martin. Watch the 81 car.
Todd Bodine in the 81 car. Martin's passed him one time, and Todd gets a little loose there. And
a little loose there?
Yeah, you know, it was a lot loose.
Okay.
He was good to be able to straighten that thing out.
Did a heck of a job.
Martin did get by him and put Todd a lap down. Now there are only 14 cars in the lead lap.
Last car on the lead lap being shown is Dale Jarrett, the Band-Aid Ford, car number 32. There's a leader, Winn-Dixie Ford of Mark Martin.
And you see there's no one right on the back bumper of Mark Martin's car. The second place car is Jeff Green. There he is, a 3-car, Goodrich Chevrolet. And David Green, his brother, is in 3rd place in the Caterpillar car.
Todd Bodine coming into the pits.
Food City Roof Cam. Talk about domination. Mark Martin has won twice. Look at the laps. He's led 486 over the nearest competitor, Kenny Wallace. And Kenny led all 134 of those laps at Nashville, Tennessee. When he had a problem, click one more off for Mark Martin. That time by 487. See Mike McLaughlin, David Green, and Steve Grissom among the top 5 in Busch Grand National laps led. They keep clicking away for Mark Martin.
That goes to show you just how fast you can make a lap here at the Bristol Raceway. About 16 seconds around this point. 5.33 mile high bank oval.
Well, Mark Martin is the pole sitter for Sunday's Food City 500, but having an awfully good Saturday here thus far. He is our leader. Back in a moment. Back at Thunder Valley, Bristol, Tennessee. Yeah, it's NASCAR action. Goody's 250 style. And beating and banging everywhere. There's Mark Martin right side of your screen. He's our leader, trying to move it on Hermie Sadler. Here comes the car that was the leader, now in 6th spot on pit road. Bill Weber.
Jimmy Spencer on pit road, lap 142. They clean the windshield, throw in the fuel, go to the right side for tires first. Some of these guys are actually talking about 2 tire changes. I can't believe it. They're going to take 4 for Spencer, though. He probably needs them. He's been pretty quick. Working the left sides. Leaders roaring by. Spencer sits on pit road. Click off the lap 143. The fuel's in. They've got some trouble back there with the left rear. This is going to cost him even more time. Jimmy Spencer with a very long pit stop under green. Now the car's finally down. And away, they were having trouble with the fuel because he's got that bashed-in rear quarter panel as well.
And there's the Hickory Food City Chevy Monte Carlo, Jimmy Spencer. Got damage on his left rear.
Meanwhile, a battle for second place is really heating up between the Green boys. That's Jeff in the 3, David in the 95, Chad Little in the 23 car, the John Deere car. Has been in the pits, change.
And got new tires. Tires inside.
And Earnhardt's telling him he's got new tires. He's faster than you are. Let him go. So Jeff Green wisely moves over, lets him go.
And Dale Jarrett's in on the backstretch, and Kyle is there.
Dale Jarrett come down pit road. They're taking on right sides right now. They're making a chassis adjustment. I think he's putting wedge in, it looks like, but most everybody's been complaining about being a little bit tight. Dale's been running up in the lead lap. They've gone to the left side. Having a little bit of trouble with the left front. The basic pit stop, about right amount of time, whatever. About down and out.
And here are the brothers Green, the 95 Caterpillar car. He's the older brother, David, 38 years of age, goes by.
Down there, let's go.
And that's Jeff Green, 33, you're riding with. Our AutoZone race recap. Our leader is Mark Martin, has led 43 of 147 laps. There have been 3 lead changes, 2 cautions, 15 laps. The average speed, 95.900 miles per hour. Our leaders, Jimmy Spencer, 47 laps. Mark Martin, our current leader, 43. Chad Little and Michael Walton. Out of race, there are the drivers, Chuck Bound, Joe Bessie. Well, couldn't believe it again, Shane Hall, and Pete Orr, rookie driver.
Chad Little with new tires on that John Deere Pontiac. Passed Mark Martin, drove on away. Mark will have to be coming in before too long, gets the tires on his Winn-Dixie Ford.
And here's the 60 car, and we're going to hold for there's the 3 and the 8.
And the 95 car, the second place car.
Car behind you is 4th position. 30.
Here comes Kenny Wallace making a pass for third.
Going inside.
And there's Spencer. Spencer is, what, he's being shown 3 laps down here right now. He had a rather long pit stop.
And watch as he goes blowing by Kenny Wallace with those fresh tires.
Those new tires will make a world of difference.
Mark Martin being shown as a leader. David Green, car number 95 in second. The 8 car you saw a moment ago going by Jeff Green. There's the Red Dog machine of Kenny Wallace. He is in 3rd spot. The Goodrich Teresa Earnhardt Food City car. Jeff Green is in 4th. And Steve Grissom, well, he started 19th. He's all the way up in 5th spot. Sort of the
Don't
same
ever
thing.
count that guy out. And here's the problem on the backstretch, and these guys who have not made pit stops, it's going to be a break for them. If no caution comes out, not yet. Not yet. Nope. They thought it was going to be a break. I thought it was going to be a break for them, but no caution. Everything's still going.
Heavy
Rodney
damage.
Combs has a lot of damage to the Lance Snacks car. And the yellow is out now.
That'll be the 3rd caution flag today, and you see the heavy damage, as you said, Ed, on that Lance machine, the Chevy Monte Carlo of Rocket Rodney Combs, and that will be a break for Mark Martin and those that have not pitted yet.
Yeah, there are about 8 drivers who had not made a pit stop yet, and this will be a huge break for them. Jimmy Spencer, who had made a pit stop, and Dale Jarrett, and Chad Little, and some of those guys, is really going to cost them.
And looked like Rodney Combs came off the corner, just lost control. And the 34 car, Mike McLaughlin, almost ran directly in the side of him. Watch. I think he did give him just a little bit of a nudge, but it really did not damage the 34 car. McLaughlin very lucky in the Royal Oak Charcoal car.
Well, they're less than 100 laps away from the conclusion, so there won't be a problem as far as fuel's concerned. It should be the only pit stop we'll see some of the leaders make. You see the damage there and the work being done on the Rodney Combs car. Triple split pits. Martin, Green, and Wallace. Let's go down to Weber.
The 60, the 95, and the 8 on pit road. Mark Martin, the race leader, 157 on the tower. They go to the right side first. They're going to change the handling of this car with an air pressure adjustment on the right rear. They go to the left side on the 8 car. They're on the left side, also on the 60 car. Plenty of fuel in. These guys will be able to go the distance from here. Marks drops the visor. They drop the car. He's away. Mark Martin's going to win the race off pit road. The 8 on its way now. Let's see if the 3 can beat him. The 95 trying to work his way out. Green is second off pit road. Here comes the 4, the 29 to 3. Back to the pits in the backstretch, Kyle.
The 43 car is torn up like you can't believe. It's popped left a puddle of water. I think the radiator must have a hole in it. Still spewing water. They changed 4 tires. They had 3 of the tires were flat. They changed 4 tires, sitting back out. They'll probably bring it back in and try to work on it, try to get this thing. But this car is absolutely a piece of junk right now.
He's talking awful bad about his daddy's car, isn't he? Car is owned by Richard Petty.
Rocket Rodney Combs spinning out of into turn 3. That's the reason for caution number 3 here at Bristol. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Track Facts are brought to you by Quaker State, the motor oil that exceeds the highest standards for engine protection.
You know, over the last several Busch races, we've been hearing about guys with injured ribs. Jeff Purvis, who's already gotten out of his car today, broke some ribs at Nashville. If you saw RPM tonight on ESPN2 earlier this week, Jerry went to Joe Bessie's shop. He's still suffering ribs from a really hard crash at Atlanta. Well, this morning, Joe Bessie went to the Hutchinson Pagan truck, which is like a shop on wheels here in the garage area. And he bought this. This is a lumbar air cushion. Normally, you'd put it behind your back. But what you can do is you can take this and you can pump this up, and this body of this will fill with air. Now, what Bessie has is 2 of these, one on each side to protect his ribs. During the race, he can pump it up if he needs more protection, or he can actually let the air out of it if it becomes uncomfortable. He holds himself in the seat with the straps over the shoulders. 2 of these protect his ribs. His seat is over $600. These, $48 a piece. To Kyle Petty.
NASCAR has its own penalty box. Okay, the Mike Wallace team invented their own penalty box. It takes 15 seconds to run around this racetrack. If you send 1 too many men over the wall, it's a 15-second penalty. They've got a penalty box for their sign guy. He's cost them 15 seconds at some point in time. It says, Steve, do not cross the line. Not even with 1 leg. You can't even put 1 leg. So on the back side of the wall, they put 1 foot and a mark to it. Nobody goes across this wall. 15-second penalty, 1 lap. Mike Wallace doesn't want it today, guys.
That's great, guys. This is not very much fun for Rocket Rodney Combs.
And we see someone under the Mike McLaughlin's car under the car.
Later tonight on ESPN Speedway, coming up 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, re-air of the Goody's Headache Powders 250 on ESPN Classic at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So Bob Jenkins and all the fine folks at Speedweek at 7:30, and then the re-air of this exciting 250-lap race, the Goody's Headache Powders 250.
And you don't want to know who wins. Just turn your volume down at the end of the race.
And there's the Ford pace car, half the field in tow. Mark Martin trying to be the first driver to win 3. In fact, he's the only driver to win 2, so he'd have to be the first driver to win 3 this year. 19 Brilliant statement.
Makes sense to me.
1996. There's the Smoky Mountain Herbal Chew roof cam. There's the Food City roof cam. Good crowd on hand. Great day for racing here in Bristol, Tennessee. Glad to have you with us. Restart lap 165. 8 laps. That third caution flag of the day.
In Busch competition, the cars on the lead lap start.
Oh, we got a spinner. Oh, I'll tell you what, Jason Keller cannot take to bring in Jimmy Spencer, and they're still hitting. They are still. Now, they finally stopped hitting for Jason Keller. Yes, I know.
Right here in turn 1 now, they're hitting each other, Denny.
Well, that's Todd Bodine. Tim Vito was down there. Todd Bodine is down there. Curtis Markham was involved, and he is 4th in the point standings. There's the 40 and 81 that were involved. Here's the 57. Oh, look at that. My goodness. Poor old Jason Keller.
It's used up today, that Slim Jim car.
Jimmy Spencer's car, left side of your screen that's parked. Replay. Here's what happened on the restart.
Looks to me like Chad Little got in the back of Randy Porter in the 48 just a little bit. And Porter goes around and around. But after a restart, traffic is so heavy, there's just no place to go. Jason Keller runs into him. He goes across the racetrack. Here comes Spencer, knocks him into the 63 car of Curtis Markham. And the 26, is he going to hit him and add insult to injury? I don't think so.
Did you see Spencer? He was all the way up to the outside of the racetrack. Watch this again, right side of your screen. Watch a 20 car. He's up there bothering no one. So I'm going to stay here, get on my brakes. I'm just going to ride. Oh, I'm clear. I'm in good shape. No one's going to hit me. Watch a 20 car again. And suddenly he's going to come across and a car's going to hit right in front of him. That, of course, was the Jason Keller machine.
Also, the 90 car, Mike Wallace was involved. I didn't see that until that replay. The 4 car goes by. Now Jason's going to come down and.
Now watch the 20 right side of your screen. Says, I'm clear, guys. Nobody. Uh-oh. Look
right
here.
In front of
Boom. Right in front of him. And Curtis Markham, the Lysol car, boy, he can't catch a break either. He was in the middle of the track with no one around. He ends up getting caught in the accident. Back with more from Bristol in just a moment. Back in Bristol, Tennessee, still dealing with the aftermath of a wild accident down in turn 3. They're still cleaning up back there, and actually the accident continued over into turns 1 and 2 with a couple other cars involved. It's the 4th caution flag of the day, and Kyle is caught up with one of the principals.
Well, I'm standing here with Jimmy Spencer. You come from the back, you come from up in there, you take the lead, you check out on him, and all of a sudden you're in one wreck, and all of a sudden you're minding your own business here in this one, and you end up in another wreck. What's the problem?
Bristol. I'll tell you, we had a sponsor here now in Hickory Wildfire Charcoal. So you remember when you're grilling now, use Hickory Wildfire Charcoal, Cost me a lot of.
You're a wildfire.
Cost me a lot of money today. That's coming out of my pocket. I own that race team. And man, I was pretty upset, when I tore it up. And then I tore it up the second time, and I did a lot of damage that time. So I'm trying to get donations now. If I can get them from Benny and Ned and all those guys, I'd really appreciate it. But the guys, we had a heck of a race car today, but oh well, Bristol.
At least he can still smile about it, guys.
Man, it looked like he had it clear. It looked like he was up there and just away from everyone else, but Jimmy Spencer able to smile. And he also understands that when you're paying the bills yourself, the first thing you say is your sponsor's name.
That's exactly right. Involved in the crash, Jason Keller, Randy Porter, Jimmy Spencer, Curtis Markham, and Derek Cope, although I don't think Cope had a lot of damage. Also, Larry Pearson and Mike Wallace made some contact.
Now, while all that was going on up there that you guys were talking about, they came by, got the caution flag, and looked down here in turn 1. There's Todd Bodine and the 40 car of Tim Fedewa. They get into it down in turn 1. They drive away, though.
Fedewa and Bodine and those guys are having way too much fun over there in turn 3. We'll have our own fun. We'll have a little spin here in turn 1. So whatever, we're still under the 4th caution flag today. Back with more action from Bristol in a moment. Back at Bristol International Raceway in Bristol, Tennessee. Glad to have you with us. Bill Weber, Kyle Petty, Ned Jarrett, Benny Parsons, and yours truly, Jerry Punch, bringing you NASCAR Busch Grand National Series action. The Goody's Headache Powders 250. What an appropriate sponsor for this one. Goody's Headache Powders, guys. There have been a lot of crunches out there. A lot of cars smushed. How about the Sunday buffet? Well, for breakfast, we'll have some Winston Cup qualifying for you, 7:30 a.m. on ESPN2. Checkered flag for the Grand Prix of Australia, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Then the Formula One from Brazil qualifying at 9:30 a.m. ESPN2. What follows breakfast? Well, how about some brunch? RPM today, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Kenny Mayne and Company up there in Bristol, Connecticut. Formula One, Grand Prix of Brazil, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. That's brunch. Let's have some lunch. How about that Sunday buffet? How about NASCAR today? Dave Despain and Company, 12:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll bring you up on everything that's happening prior to the race. Then the main course, the NASCAR Winston Cup Food City 500 at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Flag-to-flag coverage. Bob Jenkins will be here with us. Sunday's buffet dinner, RPM tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, as Kenny Payne wraps it all up. And that's our Sunday buffet. Let's go down to Bill Weber.
Ricky Craven, you start 13th here tomorrow. What do you think of this?
Just when I think I'm missing it, you know, like I really want to be out there in that DuPont car. There's an 8 or 10 cow pile up, and I think this is where I really belong.
Good seat over here, huh?
This is the best seat in the house.
Except for the one you got tomorrow.
Well, we had a tough practice this morning. I actually spun coming off turn 2, but it encouraged us to change 4 springs and 4 shocks, and the Kodiak Chevrolet is really running.
Okay, and so are these guys. Green flag out.
Restart, lap 177. That was an 11-lap caution flag. Our leader, car number 60, Mark Martin, has come by the career, has led since lap 105.
David Green, our second-place car, and Steve Grissom, via very good pit stop, has moved into third place. We see the 32 car, Dale Jarrett, in fourth spot, but he is not on the lead lap. How many laps down is he?
3. Made a green flag pit stop, and right before the caution came out a while back, and he's in 17th position.
8 cars on the lead lap. The last car being shown is Dick Trickle on the lead lap.
Someone said 16:30. That's 16.30 seconds.
It takes him to go around this thing.
And Grissom, 29 car, the WCW World Championship Wrestling, has closed. 16:35. He slowed down 0.05 of a second.
And as the tires heat up, he'll slow down a little bit more, but that's still a quick pace around here.
That's Sandy Jones, the crew chief, and Steve Grissom. You hearing him talk to him and giving him those times as they come by lap after lap. Now behind this group is Hermie Sadler's DeWalt People's Department Store machine and the 8 car. That is Kenny Wallace, who is in 5th position.
Now, Hermie Sadler had also made a pit stop under green. He's 3 laps down in 18th place.
The 28 car that you see in 9th place is a lap down. He and Tim Fiedel are both a lap down.
Kenny Wallace there in the Red Dog car said they're going to use this race to try to work on their pit stops. And it's the same crew, Winston Cup, that's going to pit the car tomorrow. You see the field summary. You see Kenny Wallace in 5th. They got killed at Darlington in their pit stops on the Sunday race. They came in 5th. They came out 18th a couple of times in the top 5 and lost about 10 or 12 spots in the pits. So we're going to run this race and try to improve our pit stops. Well, they had a 29.5-second pit stop. Their only stop a moment ago under caution for 4 tires.
Todd Bodine in the pits for an unscheduled pit stop. Like to pull a little sheet metal off the wheel.
Grissom looking the inside of David Green. Can't make the pass. He's got a green sandwich. That's from behind the Grissom car. David Green up front, and then comes Grissom, then comes Jeff Green.
I see Mark Martin right behind Todd Bodine. Bodine moves over and lets Mark Martin go. Jeff Green had to get off the gas, and he's going to lose about a second to these fellas.
Oh, near accident there. Tim Fiedel was trying to hang on. Jeff Fuller going beneath him. All 4 tires were down on the apron a moment ago. Boy, he just managed to hang on. Take a look at what happened just a second ago.
Down in turn 1, Jeff Fuller trying to get on the inside of Fiedel. Looked almost identical to what he and Phil Parsons did about 100 laps ago, Ned.
Yep, bet they all got through it.
Well, what do new tires do for you here at Bristol, Tennessee? Take a look. Before they pitted, after 150 laps, 110.916, they've upped it by 7 miles an hour. That's moving. That's new rubber.
That's about 1 second per lap around this racetrack.
There's David Green, the Caterpillar Chevy. Buzz McCall old car. In second spot, you're watching it from the WCW roof cam for Steve Grissom. And we'll come back and watch the rest of WrestleMania here at Bristol, Tennessee. Back with more from Thunder Valley as Mark Martin is our leader after this. Back at Bristol International Raceway, scrambling. There's the Jeff Green car, number 3, the Goodrich Chevy owned by Teresa Earnhardt. He's running back in the 4th spot. And there are the interested parties right there. That is Dale Earnhardt, of course, left side of the screen.
Plan. Get your rhythm.
And Diane Green, she is the wife of David Green. And that's Jeff Green's brother, older brother. You see Jeff and Grissom move beneath the Curtis Markham car. The M&M's Lysol Pontiac. Markham involved, not of his own doing, that is, and a few laps back over in turn 3. 52 laps to go at Bristol, Tennessee.
Back bumper on the 29 car just about to come loose. Oh! That didn't do it any good. That little bit of a front bumper from the 3 car of Jeff Green. 50 laps to go.
That's our
more contact, and Steve is still trying to save it.
Go.
And he does save it. But Jeff Green will get by.
Get your rhythm now. Let's go catch that 95. Let's go, babe.
That's Dale Earnhardt talking to his driver. Jeff Green saying, go catch that 95. Now, the wife of that 95 driver.
All right, that 8 car behind you is 4 positions.
That's Steve Grissom's spotter telling him that the Kenny Wallace machine behind him is the 5th place car.
Take a look. Can't quite make it. There we see. That's 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Clear.
Phil Parsons back there in the channel lock Chevy car number 10. He is the 6th place car. That's 5th, 6th, and 7th on your screen.
There are 8 cars on the lead lap. Dick Crickle.
Inside.
8 cars on the lead lap. He's not far behind these guys.
Grissom got it out of shape a little bit, hung on.
2.
Wallace and Parsons went by.
Also, Dale Jarrett went by, but again, he is about 3 laps down, but he has a very fast race car. He pitted, and then a few laps later, the caution flag fell and put him those 3 laps down.
All he had to do is ride it out. He and Michael Walker, several of them in that position.
There's Mark Martin, our leader, the Winn-Dixie Ford. David Green is going by. Here is Jeff Green. Now he is on the move, chasing his brother, chasing older brother David.
That's David, the 2nd car in front of him.
Same plan.
I'm sorry, that was Larry Pearson in front of him. I thought it was David Green, but it wasn't.
Well, this car's looking a bit alike. They're both black and yellow.
There's David Green. Trying his best to run down Mark Martin. 2nd place car. Caterpillar Chevrolet.
He's, of course, our points leader. There is Jeff Green, 33 years of age, 5 years younger than David. And that's the interval between the 95 and
93, leader 1720.
They said he ran a 93 and the leader ran a 1720. And Grissom.
Clear behind the 12. All clear.
Grissom having all kinds of problems. Cars bouncing around, skating now.
25.
40 laps to go. He can now see 2 cars ahead, left side of your screen. That is the Caterpillar car.
That's, again, the Stanley Tools car. You
Going
can
at the
stay
bottom.
down
Going
here.
at the bottom, outside.
Well, it looks the same, doesn't it?
They look almost identical.
Randall Joy. Sorry, BP.
And Dick Trickle, the Duralube car. That was for position. That puts him, Dick Trickle, in the 6th spot.
Michael Waltrip back on the racetrack. He's 5 laps down in 21st spot. They're not going to give up. The BMW Windows Ford.
David Green is moving in on Mark Martin. He's cut some of the distance down. They're on some traffic now as they come up on Sterling Marlin. He's driving car number 4.
There's Glenn Allen, the leading rookie contender in NASCAR Busch Ground National Racing in the 99 Lux Air Chevrolet.
That's the Bill Papke on machine.
And look there, David Green right on the back bumper of Mark Martin.
These guys in heavy traffic, that'll help Jeff Green, because he's got to go through that traffic too when he gets up to it. But David Green is right there on Mark Martin. Certainly the traffic helped him a little bit, but he's staying with him.
Remember 1994, David Green wanting to drive in the car number 95 today, won this race when that guy, Mark Martin, pulled in on the white flag lap. And yes, this is the same race car. The crew chief Bobby lets us, it's the same car that we forgot to come around and take the checkered flag with, but that won't happen today because all of us will be saying, no, one more.
And we see that Jeff Green lost about a half second that time to his brother. So evidently he is in traffic.
And how about those brothers, Bill Weber?
They're running real well on the racetrack. Right now, David's got the better view. He's trying to chase down the leader. Mark Martin just radioed to his crew. We want to let the air down in the right rear on the next stop. The question is, will there be a next stop? We're on 218 right now. Meanwhile, Jack Roush radioed back. The 95 car is the fastest car on the track right now, and he's in your mirror, Mark.
Not much Mark can do about it. Right behind a couple of cars that go by our pole sitter, Chad Little, whose Pontiac is being passed. And there's a 95, the big cat on the hood.
Now, Glenn Allen waves to Mark Martin, says go by on the outside. Mark said, I'd really rather not, but if you insist, I guess I'll have to.
30 laps to go.
That sums it up. 30 to go, as that's what the spotters are telling their drivers. We'll come back to the final trophy dash, the final 30 laps. Yeah, we're going to wrestle out who's going to win this one. Stay with us in Bristol. Back in Bristol, Tennessee, heavy damage on the Kleenex Ford. Bringing out the 5th caution flag today, lap 227. That is Tim Fedua. Had a great run here back in August, finished 3rd. And that car has been shortened by about 3 feet.
Now, the question, Ned, is are they going to pit or not? Well, first of all, we watch the replay, and when we come out of this, evidently, we will know the answer to that question. Fedua goes down in turn 1, loses control, backs in the fence, and comes down, and NASCAR throws the caution flag. Looks like they're going to pit, Ned.
Yep. Well, no, they aren't.
Boy, a little fake there.
Yeah,
Mark Martin started to come in. So did David Green and company. They said, nah, not going to happen.
Yeah, if Mark Martin had come in, the others would have. But Steve Grissom and Randy LaJoy on the lead lap, they are coming in. They had nothing to lose. They were back there at the, in the 7th and 8th position. So good move on their part.
Boy, they come in and get some fresh tires. You saw a minute ago what a big difference the fresh tires make. Now, here's the fake out a moment ago. Watch up at the top of your screen.
Mark Martin's on. He's coming down pit road, right?
Looks like it.
I don't think so. David Green's coming down pit road, right? No, I think I'll go back on the racetrack with the rest of these guys.
Boy, look at Grissom's crew. They have changed 4 tires.
And
did he make it?
You made it. Going around.
I don't know. They said he made it. The spotter said he made it. It was close.
All right, take off. Take off.
Well, the spotter's on his side, though.
That's right.
Actually, of course.
We'll see what NASCAR says when he comes back around. There is a man at the end of pit road that we'll show you in just a second. Grissom goes by and the flagman waves him on. So, yes, he did, in fact, beat him.
Let's go to Kyle Petty.
No, well, the paddle guy gave him a little help. If you see where the paddle guy's standing, as Grissom was leaving the pits the paddle guy started walking backwards, a little bit slow, turning the paddle real slow in his hand. Even though the pace car was right there at it, he kept it green, so it was really, really close.
Attaboy, Chip. Chip Warren, go ahead, he said. Go right ahead, be my guest.
And safety crews are there to attend to Tim Fedewa, who hit the car a ton, hit the wall a ton with the back of his Kleenex Ford. One more look at what happened here for this 5th caution of the day.
Well, he comes down into the turn. The back end just goes out from under him, and back up into the wall he goes.
He was on the outside of Steve Grissom, looks like, going down in the corner.
After 229 of 250 laps, Mark Martin is our leader. David Green, Jeff Green, Kenny Wallace, and Phil Parsons in the top 5. Still working the 5th caution flag today here at Bristol, Tennessee for the Goody's Headache Powders 250. Mark Martin being shown as our leader. Car number 95, David Green, our point leader in Busch Series competition, is in 2nd spot, and Jeff Green is 3rd. Dale Earnhardt still watching his young driver. He owns the car. In fact, Teresa owns the Busch Series car.
David the camera, you own the camera.
Wave to the camera. Spotter step, wave to the camera. You're on the camera.
That's looking for the camera. He said there can't be no camera.
All right, let's get ready here.
As they're looking around for the camera, they'll chat. We'll come back with a green flag after this. Stay with us. Half a lap ago, the green flag waved with 16 laps remaining, and Mark Martin pulls away by about 7 car lengths over David Green.
And right now we see Kenny Wallace, the 8 car, trying to get by Glenn Allen. He makes it because right behind him is Steve Grissom and Randy LaJoy with fresh tires. Where's Randy LaJoy?
There's Grissom's car right behind Phil Parsons' channel lock Chevy.
Randy caught back there in some traffic. He's trying to pass Dick Trickle right now. Still 8 cars on the lead lap.
Phil Parsons took a look, tries to get on the inside of Kenny Wallace, can't make it. Phil said, if I could just stay here for about 2 or 3. If I could just stay here for 2 or 3 laps and let him get those tires hot, then maybe I'll be able to stay in front of him.
How about the Green brothers? They're 5 years apart in age, but about 5 feet apart a moment ago on the racetrack. You're riding along with Jeff Green at Food City Chevy. That's his older brother David in front of him.
77, get out.
And looks, he's on the inside. Can't quite make it. He's once again.
He's got a nose up there. He's going to get him this time.
Oh, let's go now. Get out there. Let's go.
That's Dale Earnhardt.
Oh, get it. Go. On the backstretch. The car's out of the groove. Keep going. Keep going.
Patty Moise sitting down on the backstretch up against the wall. NASCAR still, now they throw the caution flag.
That was Dale Earnhardt saying, get after him, go, go, go. And that Patty Moise car number 14, the Purex dial machine is spun. She gets the car refired. That will bring out caution for the 6th time. Less than 10 laps to go. There will be a single file restart. They have a 10-lap rule in NASCAR Busch Series and Winston Cup competition. Only the cars on the lead lap will be up front. It will be a single file restart. Here's what happened to Patty.
She's trying her best to get alongside Mike McLaughlin. They make a little bit of contact, and around goes Patty, goes down. I don't believe she's going to hit the wall then.
If so, it'd be pretty easy, I believe. No, I don't think she got into it.
Didn't quite make it to the fence.
That's good. Save that sheet metal.
That's a car she and her husband Elton Sawyer own as they come down pit road. It'll be a single file restart, as we commented on a moment ago. It'll mean it'll be no lap cars up front. No one for Mark Martin to be able to get by. So it should be interesting these last few laps. About 8 laps to go here at Bristol, Tennessee. Mark Martin trying to pick up his 3rd win of the 1996 season, having won at Rockingham and Darlington.
Trickle is caught back in some traffic back there. He might not know that he can move up there. He's behind some lap cars, and he's going to lose a lot. There he is in the car number 64. Get on up there, Dick. That green flag's about to come out. You can pass those cars.
You're ready. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Green.
Lap 243. This 2-lap caution flag. 7 to the checkered flag. Martin, Green, and Wallace. That's the top 4 with Parsons in 5th.
Steve Grissom, the 29 car, 6th, and Randy LaJoy, the 74 car. I wondered where he was a moment ago. He was mired back in traffic, but this caution flag allows him to pull up on the back bumper of Bristol. We can see 7 laps to go. And Jeff Green right on the back bumper of Mark Martin.
Steve, get him.
Get him. Yeah. Earnhardt said, easier said than done, Dale.
Here's Kenny Wallace making a move for 3rd spot. He taps David Green. Green slides up, hangs on to the car. And Kenny will take 3rd away with Phil Parsons 4th and Grissom 5th.
So that cost David Green, what, 4 positions? He was 3rd.
We'll show you that in a minute. 5 laps to go. That's the margin between Martin and, sorry to say, Earnhardt. He's almost driving the car. He's talking to his young driver, Jeff Green. Winn-Dixie leading and Food City in pursuit. Riding along the Food City roof cam of Jeff Green.
3 to go.
3 laps. That's all there is. That's all that's remaining.
I think Jeff's going to have a tough Martin.
Keeping that car pinned right down to the bottom of that yellow line.
Battle for 5th spot, 4th spot, actually. Bill Parsons, the channel lock.
White flag left. White flag.
That's Sandy Jones telling Steve Grissom white flag. That's the final lap for Mark Martin. He's got it about 4 car lengths underneath Curtis Markham. There's Jeff Green in 2nd spot.
And there's trouble now in turns 1 and 2. A couple of cars get together.
Good job, buddy.
And the checkered flag waves.
Slow it down.
And all the trouble is gone. And boy, David Green got a tough break. He goes back to 7th spot, was running 3rd just a moment ago.
Couldn't get up off the corner after a few laps.
Jeff Green up in waves. Now here's what was happening while the leaders were coming through 3 and 4 for the checkered flag.
The 90 car gets just, he goes under there to try to miss who, Ned?
It was the 15 car, Tony Stewart and
Glenn Allen in the 99 car.
So, yeah.
Dale Jarrett went up high to miss that mess up there, but and here's what happened to the 95 car with 5 laps to go.
Kenny Wallace gets underneath him. They make a little bit of contact. David Green goes high, and the freight train goes by down on the inside. He went from 3rd back to 7th.
Well, for the 2nd week in a row, Mark Martin is on his way to victory lane, and the car has already made it there. The Goody's headache powder is 250.
David Green's about like 3-putting on 18 for the championship, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mark will get a big swig of Gatorade. He won the Gatorade halfway money, so rightfully so, he'll get that.
What'd you tell me this morning?
3rd win in 1996 in NASCAR Busch Series competition. Mark Martin, the pole sitter for Sunday's Food City 500. NASCAR Winston Cup event, which you'll be able to see live flag to flag on ESPN.
Mark Martin talking to Bill Broderick. And Where's Matt's going to hold up that number 1 finger?
Are you okay?
I bet if he's here, he will.
Let's listen. Let's go down to Bill Weber. Bill?
And here's Mark Martin. Hey, Mark, where's Matt? Where's Matt?
I don't know. He's probably on his way.
I'm sure his congratulations. Now, Bobby Leslie told me before the race you didn't have a great car, but you certainly had a great run today.
Well, we did. Thanks to Winn-Dixie crew for hanging in there and putting together good cars. Got awful steamy engines this year. We really want to thank everybody at Roush Racing for putting engines in there like that. We wasn't exactly right there today, but we were better than we were yesterday, and it was enough today.
95 was coming on you there at the end, too. And the 3.
Yeah, they were strong. My car was okay on the long runs, but wasn't real swift after the cautions, and got a couple there at the end. Had to, really work at it.
I know you're looking at Sunday, but that's 2 in a row on Saturday. You're pointing in the right direction, aren't you? How about tomorrow?
We'd really like to win tomorrow and win that bonus money and everything else. That'd really set the tone for the rest of the season.
Okay, Mark Martin's in victory lane today, and he's on the pole here at Bristol tomorrow.
Guys, remarkably, this is the 4th race in 1996 that Mark Martin has led the most laps, yet he has not led a single lap in Winston Cup competition this year. That could change tomorrow. We'll be right back. Tonight's coverage of the Goody's Headache Powders NASCAR Busch Grand National Series event has been brought to you by Dynamax Performance Exhaust Systems, engineered by Walker. By Quaker State, the motor oil that exceeds the highest standards for engine protection. And by the NASCAR Story. To order, call 800-71-NASCAR. And Bill was called up with Jeff Green.
Hey, you were sitting in the seat, but wasn't even that co-pilot you had there that was coaching you around?
One of them Dale Earnhardt. Yeah, he was, you know, he's a veteran, and he knows every inch of this racetrack, so it doesn't hurt me to listen to him. And, you know, he just sees where I mess up and tries to help me. He don't try to hurt me any, so he's awful good at that. But our car was awful good. Guys did a good job on the pit stops, and, you know, what can I say? Good wrench, and Food City, I guess we'll have to come back here and win it for Food City in August.
Hey, you know that? Did he know that was your brother you were trying to get around there at the end?
Well, he's just another race car to me out there. You know, you gotta race him clean. I try to race everybody clean, so he gave me a shot underneath there, and I took it, so that's what it takes.
Well, these guys had a brutal start to the season, but Jeff Green and the 3 Bunch coming back here, big day at Bristol.
Thank you, man.
Best finish of the year, and there's the car he drove, Chevrolet Monte Carlo. And special thanks to the folks from Racing Electronics who provided the driver communications. You're able to hear all day long from the spotters, from Dale Earnhardt coaching his young driver. And, of course, RPM coming your way 2 times tomorrow at RPM today at 10 a.m. Eastern time on ESPN2. Of course, that's coming your way. Kenny Mayne. Preview of the Formula One Grand Prix of Brazil, highlights of the Australian IndyCar, and preview of the Food City 500. Then at 9 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow night, full coverage, review of the Food City 500, highlights of Brazilian Grand Prix, and highlights of Jeremy McGrath from the RCA Dome in Indianapolis. And don't forget, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, RPM tonight. John Kernan and all the staff down in Charlotte, North Carolina. Benny Parsons there on Monday nights. I'm there on Tuesday nights. And John Kernan and the staff with all kinds of exciting special guests Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Take a look at our results unofficially here from Bristol, Tennessee.
Mark Martin, Jeff Green, Kenny Wallace, Phil Parsons, Steve Grissom, Randy LaJoy, David Green, Dick Trickle. That's the cars that finished on the lead lap.
1 lap down is Mike Wallace, Jeff Fuller. They were the only 2 that were 1 lap down. Then Glenn Allen Jr. finished his 11th. Chad Little, even though he was 3 laps down, finished his 12th. Then Hermie Sadler, Jeff Purvis, and Dale Jarrett.
16 through 30. Remember, 37 cars started. You see Tony Stewart, who qualified 7th, will finish 16th. Todd Bodine, 17th. Bobby Dotter, 18th. Michael Waltrip had a great chance at winning this race. Will get a 19th place finish.
Now 31 through 37. Jimmy Spencer ran so well early on. Will finish 31st. Brad Teague, who was involved in the crash on the very first lap, will finish 32nd. Tommy Houston out of the race. By the way, his wife's birthday was today, so Martha did not get a good birthday present.
Take a look at our top 5 in point standings. After today, David Green will stay on top. Mark Martin comes up to 140 back. Randy LaJoy, Bobby Labonte, and Phil Parsons enters the top 5. 6 through 10.
Curtis Markham, Steve Grissom, Terry Labonte, Glenn Allen, and Todd Bodine, the top 10. David Green, he lost a lot of money that last lap, didn't he, Bill Weber?
Yeah, he did. His colors are yellow and black. You never want to see the black flag. You didn't want to see the yellow one late in the race, did you?
No, we didn't. That's the name, my middle name here at Bristol. But I tell you, Kurt and all the guys did a great job. The car wasn't as good on the short run, but on the long run, it was really, really good. Looked like it's going to be old days with Mark Martin again, but those cautions killed me, and I think I equalized the tire right there or something happened, but I couldn't get through the corner. Then I got a little help too, so we didn't hit the wall and, you know, points and all that, but Caterpillar car was really pretty good all day and never did get it like I really wanted it, but Kurt and all the guys again did a great job. Goodyear had a great tire again, and you know, it's one of those days at Bristol.
Your baby brother said you're just another car out on the track.
Well, I'm sure Earnhardt was telling him, just because he's your brother, don't sit behind him, but Jeff had a fast car, and you know, I had to let him go right there. Then the rest of the guys just wanted to knock me out of the way. But, hey, that's racing here at Bristol, and good thing we didn't hit nothing. But the guys did a great job, and the car hung in there all day.
And it's pretty much in one piece, and you got a pretty good size lead in the points, David.
Still too early, Bill, to ask me about those points.
I didn't ask you about them. I'm just telling you.
But it feels good, you know. And, again, if this was a fall race at Bristol and we were talking about a good lead, I'd feel a little more comfortable. There's a lot of good guys having little problems, but we're floating right along and feel awful good, and want to thank Caterpillar and all the guys for working really hard.
Okay, that's a former series champ, David Green. He's leading the points here.
Well, the bad news is he went from 2nd to 7th in the last 8 laps. The good news, as you heard Bill Weber say, he still has a 140-point lead here in Busch Series competition. Coming up next, NASCAR Winston Cup qualifying. That'll be following us here at the conclusion of our coverage of the NASCAR Busch Grand National Series Goody's Headache Powders 250. We'll be back. Back at Bristol, Tennessee, you can get plugged in with NASCAR online at www.nascar.com. We'll take you into the garage where you can get into the nuts and bolts of the sport with technical specs on the cars, new developments under the hood, and special commentary from drivers, crews, and NASCAR officials. Even be able to send email directly to the NASCAR officials to tell them what's on your mind. That's going to be interesting. NASCAR online at www.nascar.com. NASCAR online. Now let's go down to Bill Weber.
And here's the better half of the Parsons family, Phil. 4th in the track, 5th in points. You got the tools here to pull one off, don't you?
Well, you may have been talking about me and Benny. Now, I'm not the better half in my family.
Well, that's understandable. I'm talking about you and what's his name up top with the funny hat.
Yeah, we do have the tools. We got the Channel Lock tools. And I just can't say enough about my whole Channel Lock crew. They keep giving me a good car week in, week out. Nothing falls off. It's just up to us to get it to the front and keep it together.
Yeah, and you guys have worked hard to do that, Phil.
Well, we really have. We basically have finished every race. I think we finished all but 7 or 8 laps this year, and that's really a tribute to them. They do a super job. I can't say enough about Channel Lock. They gave us the money. We had an idea. We wanted to control our own destiny. They believed in us. They gave us some money to do it, and hopefully, these are some of the fruits that we're going to be getting. My crew, we've got a good team. We've got a good equipment. We've got a great Chevrolet. Goodyear tires have done a super job for us and a lot of help. And, AC, Race Scan, really everybody everybody plays a role. Each one of my guys plays a role. Each one of my weekend guys play a role. And everybody from Channel Lock and everybody that buys a pair of Channel Locks plays a role in it because that gives us the money to do it.
How about next week? You go to Hickory. That's pretty tough.
That Hickory right now is the most important race of the year.
Wow.
It's the next one. And that's how we approach things. That's how we're going to approach them each and every week. I mean, some people sacrifice Hickory. They want to take their oldest car. They want to, they say, well, if we can survive, we'll be all right. We're going to take our best car, or the best car that we think we have. Now, maybe we won't run well, but we're going to try, and we're going to take the best thing we've got to take.
Okay, that's Phil Parsons. He's had a lot of great finishes. First time I think I've been able to get him on post-race. Nice job today.
Thanks.
Is that a full head of hair there?
Oh, hush. He must tighten those bolts with something other than channel. Can you imagine tightening all those bolts with a pair of Channel Locks and nothing falling off?
Well, I tell you, didn't ask for much. I said nothing fell off the car today.
No,
that's all I asked for.
That's right.
His 3rd top 5 in the last 4 Busch Grand National starts. How about the rookies today? How'd they do? Glenn Allen Jr. finished 11th today. He's a leading contender in the rookie standings. And Ned?
Tony Stewart wound up in 16th place after getting a little spin there at the end. He was running up about 13th place. Pete Orr finished 34th and Shane Hull 35th.
How about Tony Stewart? He came straight here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway, where he got in a car for the 2nd time only in his life and turned a lap at 231.8 miles an hour in the Menard Lola. Boy, how about that for an impressive young rookie? Back with more from Bristol, Tennessee as we wrap up the Goody's Headache Powders 250. And back at Bristol, Tennessee, as you look at the unofficial final results, Benny and Ned, your final comments.
Well, I think it was a typical Bristol race, just like David Green said. He was running in 3rd spot, but someone wanted it, was a little bit faster than he was. They made some contact, and we're going to see that all day tomorrow for 500 laps here in the Food City 500.
And there's a number of these drivers that finished 3 and 4 laps down back there that made green flag pit stops. Then the caution came out. Many of them could have had better finishes had it not been for that, but that's breaks of racing.
37 cars in the field. 48 came here to try to qualify. Got a Sunday buffet coming up. How about breakfast? Winston Cup qualifying at 7:30 a.m. Checkered flag Grand Prix of Australia 8:30 a.m. Formula One from Brazil qualifying at 9:30 a.m. Following breakfast, we have brunch for you. Well, how about our brunch menu? RPM today, Kenny Mayne and Company, 10 a.m. Formula One Grand Prix of Brazil at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time on ESPN2. Then the lunch menu, NASCAR Today, Dave Despain and Company, 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Then live flag-to-flag coverage. Bob Jenkins will join us. Food City 500 from right here at Thunder Valley at 1 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Classic. Dinner, well, how about RPM tonight as Kenny Mayne and the crew up in Bristol will wrap all the motorsports action up at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And we got a Saturday appetizer coming up next. NASCAR Winston Cup Busch Pole qualifying from right here in Bristol, Tennessee. What a great day for racing. What a great 2 days for racing here in Thunder Valley. Beautiful racetrack. 36-degree bank show today that it takes no prisoners. And tomorrow, 500 laps of NASCAR Winston Cup racing action, the Food City 500. Who will win it? Can Earnhardt bounce back from a disappointment at Darlington? Will Jeff Gordon make it 2 in a row? We know this guy right here will be very strong. He's already proven after 250 laps of Busch Series racing today, he is the man to beat here at the high banks of Bristol, Tennessee. For Kyle Petty and Bill Weber, Ned Jarrett, and Benny Parsons, I'm Jerry Punt saying congratulations to you, Mark Martin. You're the man today at Bristol, and you just might be the man tomorrow. So long, everyone, from Thunder Valley.